What is up, you guys? This is Mini Superheroes Today.
Hey guys, Jonathan here, and today we're winding it back to 2015. This is a set that I feel like gets forgotten so often, and it's a really epic DC set. And of course, this is the Javelin from the Justice League, and the set itself is called Darkseid Invasion. At 545 pieces, this set retailed for $70 back in the day, goes for about $75 to $100 now, depending on completeness, and it came with 5 figures, 3 of which are exclusive, so let's get into that now. As always, I like to start off by looking at the minifigures, so let's start by looking at Green Arrow. Now, this figure was exclusive to this set for a little while, but then he came out as a polybag in LEGO Dimensions, which is, to be fair, quite rare, but he technically isn't exclusive to this set because of it. He's somewhat based off of the Green Arrow TV show, but not really. It's like they wanted to make him comic-based and a little bit like the TV show, so they kind of walked a thin line, in my opinion. I know there's some people that might be like, bro, that looks exactly like the show, or like, that looks exactly like the comic, but I think that they borrowed enough elements from both. Anyways, the head is double-sided, where you've got an angry face on one side and a more calm face on the other. He's got a green bow and arrow, and it's just a great figure all around. Superman is up next. Of course, we've gotten lots of the same Superman figures over the years, so this one isn't anything special, because, you know, it's the same one that's come in lots of sets, but he's got that classic Clark Kent swoop to the front of his hair. We can flip that around to see he's got a confident smirk on this side as well. You just have to pretend that he's got the laser eyes, because other Superman figures have had laser eyes. But regardless, I love this figure, and it's so classic all these years later. Cyborg is the next figure we'll take a look at, and I've always loved this figure. I think it's aged exceptionally well, and it was just so far ahead of its time. No pun intended with him being like a robot, you know, having some futuristic elements about him, but I just love the leg printing on this. The torso printing was so detailed, and of course, that headpiece is awesome. Now, if we lift that headpiece up, you can see that he's just got a regular head underneath. In fact, this head was also used on War Machine from Captain America Civil War, but it works exceptionally well for Cyborg. I love it, and he does have a stud shooter gun here, where when you push this little piece down, it shoots the stud out, and that's about all I have to say about the figure. It's just such a great one, and I still love it all these years later. And finally, we have Hawkman. I think that Hawkman translated really, really well into minifigure form. Of course, he's got that great printing on the legs that give him those gold boots with green pants. The torso looks awesome as well. And if we lift his helmet up, you can see that he's got a little chin strap on there with an angry face on one side and a little bit more of a calm face on the other. Now, this helmet would reappear a few years later for the Lego Batman movie on Hawk Girl, so I thought that that was pretty cool. And he's got his, I think this is called a mace, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure someone will comment down below if I'm wrong. But then you can remove these studs on his back, these 2 little flat gold pieces, to take these wings off, and it actually comes with extended wings if you so wish. So then you just put those pieces back on, and then he's got his wings on, and we'll flip him around so you can see that he looks awesome with the wings spread like that. So it's a great figure, and if LEGO DC ever does come back someday, I feel like it's going to take a while for them to get to Hawkman. So the fact that he's exclusive to this set is pretty cool all these years later. And finally, we have the namesake of this set, Darkseid, an amazing big fig. I think this one has aged exceptionally well. Can't believe this is almost 8 years old. Jeez, where's time going? Anyways, this figure, of course, like all big figs, has removable arms, and you can twist the wrists, but the printing on it is great. We've got printing all over the torso. He's got the blue boots with black pants on, and all around, it's just a great figure. I love this one. Now let's take a look at the builds of this set. So we have Darkseid Speeder here. Truth be told, I don't know if this has like a name in the comics. I think it's just a generic speeder, but it does have this really cool launcher up front here where you just push on the bottom of the gun and it shoots that out. Luckily, it comes with an extra one, because I'm going to have to see where that just shot off to. But anyways, if we lift it up, you can see that it's just supposed to be kind of like a hovercraft like this. And then you can have Superman fly in and knock Darkseid off because it's hinged right here, with 2 little centered studs there that his feet go on. And conveniently, there's these 2 control mechanisms here that his hands just sit right over like that, and then you get it all together. Now, when I had Superman fly in, you could see that he stands on a super jumper, if you're kind of new to Lego, the Super Jumper was a very short-lived thing. They only used it for about 2 years, where you put your minifigures onto this stand, and it's kind of infamous for putting stress on the back of the figure's legs, and it can break them. But basically, you hold this down with one finger, and you push, and then let go, and it lets your figure fly off, and in this case, off the table. So let me get Superman, and then we'll take a look at the Javelin. So now we'll take a look at the Javelin, and I have to come out and say, guys, that this is one of my favorite LEGO DC sets ever. I think that it really packed a punch, and even though it hasn't gone up a ton in value, I mean, this is just an iconic Justice League vehicle, and I really love it. So starting with the exterior, we have the Justice League shield piece right here with the logo. We've got some stickers here, some stickers going up the sides, as well as stickers on the back of the wings. So not a ton of stickers on the outside, which is obviously a nice thing. Fans always appreciate that. But as we move to the inside, we can lift up this cockpit and see inside that there are some computer schematics there for where the Javelin is flying. And we do have one seat up front for a pilot. Then we have another seat right behind that. And we can use these pegs back here to open up the back for a third seat and a little area here, which the box doesn't tell you what it does, but if you put Superman on his super jumper and lean him forward just a little bit, when you push down on this red mechanism here, it really sends Superman flying. I mean, he can get some serious air, so I think that's really cool, especially because 2 of the 4 Justice League members who come in this set can fly. I think it's cool that they actually play that feature in. I suppose you could do it with Hawkman as well, but to keep the review moving, we'll just show you suits. Anyways, on the side here, you can take this red hatch in the back and push it down to make the wings go up for park mode or down for attack mode. That's pretty cool. And the only other play features actually reside on the bottom of the ship, where we can push this pin forward for a flick fire missile feature. Basically just push that forward and it comes out. And finally, you can open up this hatch on the bottom. There are some bombs underneath that you can drop. I have the bombs actually pushed into the build so that they're not rattling around or can be lost. But regardless, that's all there is to say about the Javelin. It's just a really cool build. Structurally, it's really nice. And I love the contour of the shape that they did. So with that being said, let's zoom out and I'll give you my final thoughts here. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know what you think of this set. Man, this just makes me so sad. It makes me wish DC would come back, but until then, I guess we can just keep enjoying the old stuff. Lego, please bring back DC. All right, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Well, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and maybe check out one of my other videos listed here.